attention stands at. The time has come to strike at the corporate puppets. Stand aside and watch as we burn their temples to the ground. Anyone attempting to interfere with our crusade will be viewed as allies of the snakes and culture traitors of the new. Show no mercy. Consider this your Lord.
Hey everyone, so as you can probably tell, 3.14 is finally in Wave 1 PTU, and there's actually a ton of stuff that's come out with this patch, so I'll be making a more in-depth video going over some more of the changes, and I'm hoping to have that out sometime Friday evening, but for now I just wanted to take a quick tour of Orizon, the new landing zone. And right now the whole landing zone isn't here. I believe more stuff is going to be added with 3.15, but for now we've got still a decent number of areas available to look at this landing zone, and I think there'll be enough to keep us entertained as we check out those clouds. So yeah, these habs here are somewhat reminiscent of the new Babbage habs, with this window right as you step out from your hab, but obviously it's very different being able to see this city floating around you instead of a normal city on the ground. And the whole design is a lot more nature inspired than the high tech of Microtech, at least from what I'm seeing so far. And yeah, this is very cool. There's actually an outdoor balcony, so you can see, I guess that's some sort of cargo barge or something moving around. You can see various other areas around the city just kind of floating. And this is a sort of evening view, not the typical daylight view that we've seen before. So that's kind of cool that I loaded into this. And there you can see one of the shuttles flying by, I believe. And I think down there you can see the other area that's accessible right now in this landing zone. As for performance in this area though, it's not the best. I'll have to see if it changes when it's daytime and we get a bit more of those cloud effects, but at the moment it's probably running a little bit worse than New Babbage, I'd say. So not great, but not impossible to deal with either. And just a small thing, it looks like there's a ton of plants, got all the wood, and green is definitely the main color here. And from what I'm seeing so far, this place is at least as packed with detail as New Babbage is, so they're definitely keeping to that high level of quality. Alright, so I believe the exit is over that way, but I want to check out the rest of this area before we move on. These shuttles get going pretty quickly. And it looks like the spaceport is a bit of a further flight than the industrial platform is from the habs, but still not all that long compared to a lot of the other train rides. You can see some of those hangar doors as we fly on in, and it looks like a lot of these are going to be side access hangars, which are some of my favorite ones. They can be a lot easier to fly into than some of those top-down ones.
Approaching next station. If this is your stop, please prepare to disembark.
Alright, and then here we have another sort of display area with some more models of Crusader's current in-game ships. I imagine that as they get more of their ships into the game, like the Ares that should be coming soon, we'll be seeing some of those in these areas as well. But at the moment, they're showing off what they have. And you can actually even see ads for those other ships off to the sides as well. Alright, so there's not all that much on this platform, and it looks like we can just take some elevators up to the main terminal. You can see these elevators are themed to the name of this spaceport, and that looks to be the spaceport specific logo. This area reminds me a lot of the New Babbage spaceport, but that's okay. It kind of fits with the Crusader theme. And it still has a lot of Crusader design elements with these small cherry blossoms. And I like these new finds and citation systems. They're usually those ugly looking kiosks that look like a clunky ATM sort of thing. So it's kind of cool to see them on a new device. You can see the sun is starting to rise, and you can see some of those cloud effects. So at the moment they have said that some of this is unintentional. So I believe these dots that you can kind of see that look a little noisy are not intended. But if you kind of squint at it, the overall effect is very cool and very convincing. And another thing that I like to see that's here is this rental area. So let's see what they have available here. So from Aegis we have the Avenger, we have the Arrow, which is another solid ship. We have the Nox, not too useful at the moment. The Mustang Alpha shuttle, just leaving now. And this shuttle looks like it's to the spaceport.
The next shuttle is approaching the station.
And you heard the announcer. You don't get to enjoy a fall for too long. Alright, we're back in that lobby area now, so I guess we'll head out to the front plaza. And then out this way we can see more of those cherry blossoms. We can see a shuttle just leaving now. And this shuttle looks like it's to the spaceport.
The next shuttle is approaching the station.
And it seems like. So yeah, at the moment you don't get to enjoy a fall for too long. Alright, we're back in that lobby area now, so I guess we'll head out to the front plaza. And then out this way we can see more of those cherry blossoms. We can see a shuttle just leaving now. And this shuttle looks like it's to the spaceport.
The next shuttle is approaching the station.
And you heard the announcer there. So it seems like they have them running pretty frequently here, which is kind of nice. And then here we have more cherry blossoms. This looks like it's called the Green Circle Plaza. Here's the map of, you can call it the metro system I guess, but it's really just the system of shuttles. You can see at the moment there are 3 different locations. So currently we're at Cloudview Center. You can see that it has the Green Circle habitation, but it also has the hospital, the trade division, and the shopping center, as well as the showroom, so we'll have to go check all of those out. Although some of those might not be open at the moment. And then there's the industrial platform, which I imagine will have more of the shipbuilding stuff that the city is known for. And then the spaceport, which I'm interested to see what that looks like. Because with the floating city, you've got quite a lot of an opportunity to design a really cool spaceport. And then over on this other side of the plaza, it's pretty much the same thing. Instead of a map of the transit, it looks like we have a weather display here. Nice weather here, I guess. And this one takes you to that industrial platform. And here you can see this glass bottom platform. They really want to make you feel like you're part of the clouds here. I'm not sure how I'd feel about this in real life. I'm not usually afraid of heights, but still this seems like a bit of a low barrier for stopping people from falling, but it makes for a very cool effect in game. Alright, and then walking along here we have this very grand looking building, and I imagine this is going to be the Crusader Showroom. So Crusader is the corporation that owns this planet, and Crusader Industries makes a lot of fan favorite ships, like the Starlifter here, as well as the Star Runner. And yeah, this is one of the areas that is not in quite yet, so I believe this will be coming with 3.15 if all goes well, but it's not really needed for anything, it's just going to be something cool to see. Alright, so off to the left of the plaza over here, we've got a bridge that will bring us over to the hospital and some other stuff. I believe this is the trade center, you can see that logo over there, and if you look up there you can see a Starlifter flying by. I think that's player controlled, but I'm not sure. Alright, so let's go over and check out the hospital first. Alright, so hospitals are going to be a much more important thing in the future. I think 3.15 is going to introduce some significant medical gameplay, so those of us who tend to have a lot of accidents in the verse are going to be seeing these places more frequently than we might want to. But this is one of the first hospitals that's in the verse at the moment. I think the one at New Babbage is also open, and I'll go check that out in a bit. But this is my first time inside of a hospital in the verse. So right now it looks like we have available to us a couple of useful kiosks. So we've got the insurance over there and then the pharmacy over here. It looks like you'll probably be able to buy med pens and stuff here. Yep, you can buy med pens and oxy pens, and they've been given a slight redesign. They look pretty interesting. So over here, these terminals aren't active yet, but probably in the near future, you're going to be able to purchase medical insurance here, which will affect how you respawn in the event that you receive a fatal injury, and that'll be developed more in the future. As for these other rooms, it doesn't look like too much is being used at the
Approaching next station. If this is your
and it looks like this
is preparing to depart.
Alright, and then here we have another sort of display area with some more models of Crusader's current in-game ships. I imagine that as they get more of their ships into the game, like the Ares that should be coming soon, we'll be seeing some of those in these areas as well. But at the moment they're showing off what they have. And you can actually even see ads for those other ships off to the side as well. And that looks to be the spaceport specific logo. This area reminds me a lot of the New Babbage spaceport, but that's okay. It kind of fits with the Crusader theme. And it still has a lot of Crusader design elements with these small cherry blossoms. And I like these new finds and citation systems. They're usually those ugly looking kiosks that look like a clunky ATM sort of thing. So it's kind of cool to see them on a new device. Now you can see the sun is starting to rise and you can see some of those cloud effects. So at the moment they have said that some of this is unintentional. So I believe these dots that you can kind of see that look a little noisy are not intended. But if you kind of squint at it, the overall effect is very cool and very convincing. And another thing that I like to see that's here is this rental area. So let's see what they have available here. So from Aegis we have the Avenger, we have the Arrow, which is another solid ship, we have the Nox, not too useful at the moment, the Mustang Alpha, and the Gamma, and then the Dragonfly, not too useful at the moment. The 300i, we have a couple of ships from RSI, the Andromeda would be a great option if you wanted to do some higher level bounty hunting missions, and then the Cyclone. Alright, and then heading up the stairs we have another gift shop area, another map of the transport system, which also scrolls through some Crusader advertisements and weather information, another Whammers, you want to make sure that you're well fed before your journey here I guess, and an Elroy's over to the other side if you're not into burgers. And then here we have a very convenient looking arrangement with the vehicle management terminals right next to the elevators. So this is actually probably my favorite spaceport so far, because you don't have to run super far from the terminals to the elevators. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out a ship, and let's go see what those hangars look like. And why don't we use the all-new Constellation Taurus. And again, like I said, I'm going to be trying to get out a more in-depth video on some more of the features that are available in this patch, because it's a lot more than just this new landing zone, and this landing zone is already quite a bit, so it's definitely a very cool patch. But yeah, it might take me a little while to get that video out, so I just wanted to get this tour out there, for those of you who wanted to see it right away. So again, these hangars are very similar to what we have at New Babbage, but I believe that's intentional. This is the Aero View style, so
It's supposed to be pretty consistent across areas that have that implemented. And we have some more fines and citation payment machines here, which is nice to see. Those can be a pain to find, so that's a new thing for here, and I hope they continue that with some of the other landing zones, so you don't have to go running around looking for where to pay your fines. But yeah, we can see the Taurus here. It's finally in game. You can see that it's missing its snub. It kind of looks like it's actually missing it there, and it's not just designed to not have one in the first place. I was kind of hoping that this cargo bay would extend all the way back, but they managed to fit 176 SU in here, I believe, so that's still a pretty reasonable amount, so I can't complain too much. Alright, so for this quick look at the Taurus, this habitation area up here is the same as pretty much every other constellation except for the Phoenix. But then in this cargo area, you can see the cargo bay is quite large here, and I believe this will fit cargo from floor to ceiling pretty much, whereas with the other variants, it kind of gets blocked by some of the missile racks. So it looks like they've expressly made space for as much cargo as possible in here, and moved those missile racks off to the side as much as possible. And then back in this rear area where you usually have the snub, you have this other cargo area, which I think is supposed to be shielded. I don't think it's implemented at the moment yet, but at some point, hopefully this should give you an area where you can stash stuff to not be scanned, or not be scanned as easily as your main cargo hold. Alright, and you can see here as we're getting ready to go that they've made quite a few changes to the flight HUD, so that's going to take a little bit to get used to. But you can also see that this hangar is a front opening hangar, which is always very cool to see. And that view is pretty amazing. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it for the landing zone. I think I got to most of the main areas, and if there's something you wanted to see a little bit more in detail, you can either leave that in the comments, and I'm sure they'll be trying to get this out to everyone as soon as possible because they're already a little bit behind with this being the QQ patch supposedly. So yeah, if you're interested, be on the lookout for that video where I go over some more of the changes that are coming with this patch. But now I want to thank my members, GreatWatch93 and Starlight Domina. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and if you want to help me out, you can do that by leaving a like and or subscribing, and if you really want to support me, you can do that by becoming a channel member with the join button. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.
Launch complete.
Sticking. Need all pilots on site now.
Thank you. And please visit again.
Landing complete. Launch complete.
Warning. You are blocking an active flight bay. Please vacate. Initiating ship storage procedure. For your safety, please vacate the area. Thank you for your cooperation.
Landing complete. Launch complete.
Oh my. Ugh. Ridiculous.
Sick of settling for the same old ship? Looking to expand your fleet without emptying your bank account? Ready to take your trip to the next level? Sounds like you're ready to rent with Vantage. With dozens of vehicle options and a wide range of sizes and models, Vantage Rentals is a new way to fly.
operational.
You are clear to launch.
Launch complete. Landing gear retracted.
status on those deliveries? We've been slacking on the drop-offs. Not to the AO. CDF recommends checking in with the medical staff at the rest stop before heading out.
Quantum
That way,
travel
we can have you
complete.
covered if anything goes wrong.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel completed.
Formation. First supply drop has been received.
Quantum
Good work.
travel engaged.
Don't stop now. Calm down. Calm down.
Quantum travel
I'm going back to Crusader. What's even going on like